Hey guys, it's SJ. I hope you're really well. Today's video is about gentle potty training. So you know I have 3 kids and so I've potty trained 3 times now, and most recently with Evelina, my 2.5-year-old, we've just sort of going through potty training now, and I've been reading a lot more around gentle parenting and potty training. So the idea that you can potty train without rewards, which is normally my method, was, you know, like potty training in a week, potty training in a weekend, and it's literally crazy. Whenever you Google potty training, it immediately is like we're all so desperate to do it so fast, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not that people are out there ungently potty training, but there is this standard that we're putting on ourselves, or this way, which is originally like a Gina Ford thing. I think a few years ago when I was potty training Freddie, she brought out potty training in a week, and it was a rigid routine that you followed, and by the end of the week they should be in pants. They will be in pants as soon as you decide to potty train, because that's what potty training is. It is taking them out of nappies and getting them used to life beyond nappies or after nappies. But how successful that is shouldn't have a deadline, because if you're going into anything with a deadline, with a target, then anything beyond that, your child is suddenly failing to meet some standard or some deadline that you set them and yourself. And that's when potty training and toilet training can become really stressful, and the child can start to pick up on that. And I think that people say, you know, you don't see an adult walking around in nappies. There is a whole multi-million-pound business in adult incontinence products that would disagree with you. We do have these issues, and you know, there is a lot of toilet anxiety that comes out at school as well, which could be due to stresses we're putting on our children around potty training, not giving them the chance to enjoy the process, to see this as a real independence milestone for them. And if you were giving them any type of independence, you do so gently and so normally, so as not to freak them out, and to be, you know, you're very think about things very differently. We think about this as a big independent step, and it deserves our time. It's a huge milestone in anyone's life, and in our little toddler's lives, it's one of the biggest changes they'll go through. So going into it just with a calmness. So I split these tips into 3 stages of potty training. So the first one being readiness and getting ready, and tips taken from gentle parenting, and also taken from Montessori strategies around child rearing that way, which really fits hand in hand with gentle parenting. But the two together there wasn't anything perfectly together about it, so this is a bit of my, just what I've done really, and you can cherry pick as well, because obviously we're all individuals. And then the actual training, how to deal with accidents, what you say if you're not rewarding, you know, if you're not giving stickers, how long is this going to take? And then at the end, kind of life beyond, so no going back, dealing with going out and about, and how to just continue the life beyond nappies, and what happens if it does take a long time. It can take up to a year, what's going on. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, then give it a thumbs up, and it would mean a lot to me if you subscribed as well, because I'm going to be doing a lot more gentle parenting and positive discipline tips over the next few weeks. So readiness and preparing for the potty can take quite a long time, and it's something that maybe we're not thinking about when we're reading we can potty train in such a short period. And the first time I potty trained my eldest, I basically did it because my friend was doing it with hers and I thought, that sounds good, we'll just do it together. I wasn't reading my child's cues at all. I did it literally for that reason, or because you might do it because you've got a week off work, or you've got a baby due. You know, there are many good reasons why potty training needs to happen, but as much as possible try to be as child-led, and you're looking for those readiness signs which you all know about. So obviously talking about going to the toilet a lot. They might be telling you when they have been or they're about to go. They might want to go and sit on the toilet a lot more, watch you or their siblings on the toilet, and it's just really great time to start following their cues. Montessori call it that children have a sensitive period, so where their brain is more sensitive towards learning a specific thing. And I really like that, because it allows you to kind of that ebb and flow. That doesn't mean we're all going to do it or we'll all be ready, but if they're in that sensitive period for potty training, it will be coming through in play, and it will be coming through in their natural everyday way that toddlers are communicating. So yeah, play is a great one, and when they are starting to show those signs, or if they're not and you want to prompt them, popping it into play, but in a very normal way, not like, oh, Barbie needs a wee, let's go put her on, as if it's a big thing. You might just be playing and you're like, oh, without words, sit the doll on the potty, clean her up, wash its hands and come back to play, because mainly what we're trying to do with gentle potty training is to make it as normal and everyday as possible, because it is, and we're removing any anxiety, any idea that going to the toilet is anything other than something that we all do and that it's necessary for everybody, and it's just a non-spoken thing, which will relieve any of this anxiety about toilets that I talked about coming up later on when they're actually in school. But we need to remember, I think we often think about potty training just as this mental new routine behaviour that they're learning, and we're teaching and they're learning and it's all up here, whereas we forget that a huge amount of this is physical. You know, they have never had to use those muscles in that way before. They've never had to hold it, release it when they're in the right place. It's all brand new, and I think that that really helped me when I started thinking about this as a physical muscle training program as well. And I wouldn't expect that to happen in 3 days, 4 days, a week. It's like, I'll go to the gym and on first day I think I'm going to do 100 push-ups. Oh, I can't do it. So what I'll do is, I'm obviously not ready, I'll come back in 6 more months and then I'll be pretty much nailing those 100 sit-ups first day. It doesn't happen like that. We don't expect our bodies to react like that. So if they're not getting it straight away, it doesn't mean they're physically not ready, it means they haven't learnt it yet. So it's always like thinking about this as a long-term muscle training also helps you to think why things are taking a bit longer sometimes, because we need to train that muscle, keep going, keep trying, and every single accident is learning and one step closer towards the end goal. So you're ready to go and they're going nappy free for the first time, and it's emotional and it's cute as, and you're just like getting excited for it yourself. And the first thing you need to do is set everything up in the house, of course. Get yourself a potty, get yourself a comfy one. I've got a baby Bjorn one which I've had for all of the kids, and I find it quite big and sturdy and comfy for them to sit on, particularly when your boys are a bit larger. Like my boys are so big, but it was a big solid potty for them to sit on. And what's really lovely from the Montessori method is always about creating this self-care at the same time. This is a huge first step for them in their own independent self-care, and independence being the massivest thing I think I've done differently this time. So set it up as a little more like self-care area for her, so she can go to the potty, but she also has a basket where she has her clean pants, so she can put her own new pants on. She takes her own dirty pants, if they are dirty, to the washing machine, throws them straight in, but you might want to have a little bin there for them if you'd prefer to do that. And importantly, she also has her own toilet paper, so she can wipe when she's been all by herself. So she's learning straight away that whole routine of self-care. Obviously we would always take them and wipe them and wash their hands, but it's just really nice for her to have that right next to her and her own little self-care station, because this is about self-care, this is about independence, and this is about her just being able to get on with it herself as much as possible without needing much help from me. And I'm being much more hands-off than I have been before. And Sarah Ockwell-Smith talks a lot about accidents and the importance of accidents, and as we all know, mistakes are where we learn the most and accidents are no different when it comes to potty training. They're learning what it feels like to go to the toilet without a nappy for the first time ever. They're learning their own rhythm and how often they need to go, and so are you. You're learning how long you can leave it to wait before kind of interrupting a little bit and trying to help them get onto the toilet, and that'll be so different for every single child. They're learning their own kind of muscles, and as we talked about, how to hold the muscles, how to let them go. So there's a lot going on with accidents, so you are going to expect them. So I like to just think of the first week or two as accident 2 weeks. You know, get yourself ready, get your carpets clean as spray, and just think this is just going to be the accidents, and think about those as really positive and a big step towards learning, like falling off your bike. You know, it is that simple. So while all these accidents are happening all around the house, all over your carpet, all over the playground, and you're just thinking, oh my goodness, you know, your brain might be going wild, but the main thing you need to do is keep calm in that situation and just don't apologize, don't react for other people who could even be around you if this happened when you're out and about, and just get down to the level in your most calm and normal voice. Oh, that's the wee, isn't it? That's what we want to get in the potty next time. Let's help and clear it up together, because it doesn't want to be there. That's a bit dirty. And toddlers love cleaning up most of the time. They love to be involved, and then it's teaching them a consequence without them feeling bad, without shaming them, without especially in public, you know, humiliating them a little bit, like, oh no, look what you did, or telling them off. You know, when you get frustrated, sometimes it's easy to snap and just be like, oh goodness sake, not again, you know. And it's all of those cues and those things that we might accidentally say in that moment might take us back quite a few days, where it's just, that happened, it's all in the tone of voice more than what you say, and then once it's finished, don't bring it up again. And similarly, when they do manage, when they do go, normally there's a lot of kind of reward, you know, like yay, cheers, stickers, sweets, lots going on to encourage them to repeat that behaviour, but then they are going to get that reward, and they're not going just naturally, independently, for their own self-care, their own will and want to go to the toilet like we do. You know, we're not expecting that when we go to the toilet there's any type of rigmarole around that. We just go to the toilet because we have to go. And if you wait to be, if we're prompting all the time, or if we're rewarding all the time, then basically they're going for us, and it takes all that independence away from it. So with gentle potty training, it's one of the main things. When they go, you just go, you did a wee on your potty. And you just state what they did. No, good job, you're a champ, you know, you're the potty princess, don't need to do any of that. Just, you did a wee on your potty. And then you go and clear it up together, they can clear up and help you with it. And it's just stating it, what they did and why that was helpful. Like, oh, the poo went in the potty and not on the floor. That's exactly where it should be. You know, just making a statement that that was correct, but not going overboard, because what we don't want is praise junkies, and that the next time they do it they're like, well, where was my audience? I might hold it in because she didn't see, you know, like they are very smart, our little toddlers. And as soon as we start making this a big thing, ultimately in a few weeks it's not going to be a big thing anymore, and we expect them just to go off and do it, and we're suddenly not interested. The excitement's worn off for everybody, and the problems start seeping in. They're going to be very confused. This was an amazing star-led moment for them, wasn't it? No, it was just a normal part of every single day. You got on with it, they did a good job at it, and they're going to continue doing that a lot longer, and you will fall into less hurdles later if you haven't done the whole reward. But let me know what you think of that in the comment section below. I know some children are very reward driven, but for me, I've not done any reward with Evelina this time around, and she's just absolutely taken to it, and I've noticed she's way more independent than the boys were, because I really believe that she's not waiting around for me to reward her, and she hasn't had any worse success. If anything, she's had a lot better success. So when you get out, a big top tip that I've done this time, which is working so well, is as soon as we get somewhere, I show her where the toilets are. So it's a little toilet tour. So she realises we're in a new place and there are toilets here, and I also need to go to the toilet when I'm out of the house, because that's kind of a new piece of information she's never had to think about before, apart from, you know, obviously going off to get their nappy changed. She doesn't have to seek out a toilet. So I've been like here we are, these are the toilets, this is where we'll go and do our wees. Is there a potty? No, we'll sit up on the big toilet. Do you need to go now? If they say no because they're just excited, want to go and play, respecting that. But it's really helped, because then when she does need to go, it's put toilet in her mind and she knows where she needs to go, and I think she might know how far it is. You know, it's just a good practice to get into for going out and about. Don't put them back into nappies. It sends a really mixed message. You've decided that this is the right time. Stick to your guns. The only reason you'd put them back into nappies is, you know, because of what will happen when they have an accident and you're out and about. But if you're going to kid-friendly areas, like I'm guessing you're not taking them off to like the Ivy for the afternoon, and they might be a bit annoyed if a baby wees on their floor. But if you're down at the play farm or the playground, or, you know, the school run, no one's going to bat an eye if they have an accident, and you don't have to shame them again. It's just a very normal part of this whole process. So it's happened to Evelina when she's out, and I just was like, oops, lifted her away from it, went to the reception and said, my daughter's done a wee over there. I said it in a very calm, non-judgmental voice, because Evelina's obviously hearing my tone. The woman was just like, oh yeah, fine, we'll just send a cleaner over there. There was no fuss, it just didn't matter, and that taught Evelina that she wasn't in any trouble for it. But obviously next time we went straight to the toilet. Remember, the toilets are here. Clean up, carry on playing, but didn't put her in the nappy, put her back in her pants. So she has another, you know, I trust her, and it's meaning a lot. This is relationship protecting and trust building between the two of us, and it shows her she can do it, and I believe in her, and I'm not taking something off her that I've just been working on for the last few days. Particularly if you are rewarding, it's like, well, I've been rewarded for this, then you're saying to me, I've made one mistake and now I can't have that thing that seems to be so important to you that you reward me for it. You know, they're not consciously going to say these outward feelings to you, but it's all going in, and it's respectful parenting to think about them as an articulate adult in some ways. Think about prompting, so you don't have to constantly prompt them when they're out. You know, you can say now and again, tell me when you need a wee, remember the toilets are quite far here, or every time you're walking past the toilets, maybe just take them on a little walk so you happen to be going by the toilets. Oh, the toilets, do you need to go again? Or, you know, just gently do it without being like, do you need a wee, do you need a wee, do you need a wee, and they're just like, oh my gosh, this woman is wee obsessed. Or, as I said earlier, a great idea is just to, when you're going, or go when you think they might need to go, say, oh, mummy needs a wee, can we go to the toilet? Take them in and then say, while we're here, do you want to pop on? And that normally encourages them because they want to do the same as what you're doing. So it's a kind of a more subtle way than constantly asking. But if you're thinking it's coming up to wee o'clock and they haven't been for a while, it's a nice gentler way than kind of the constant prompts, because you don't want them to retract. And if they say no, never try and push them on, hold them on there, or they're missing out on something that they want to be doing. If they said no, they think they can hold it, they will learn more from not holding it than they will from having sat on the toilet for half an hour until the dribble comes out to please you. And then it gets to night time and how nighttime goes on after you've dry days. So it seems to be we separate into dry days and dry nights, and that's just because of physically. So many children's bodies, their bladders won't wake them up fully to go to the toilet until they're a little bit older. A lot of children I know are still in nappy pants at bedtime until they were 4 or 5, and it's quite normal. Like, I won't be forcing Evelina to be in her pants at night until she does have those dry nappies, because I don't want to disrupt her sleep. But she's naturally started being quite an early riser now, because she wakes up needing, with her full bladder, does seem to be waking her up at around 5:30, and so I get her up and put her on the potty and then she's up, which is fine. That would be how it is. And then for my eldest son, for a long time I put the potty right next to his bed so he could just hop out, jump on the potty and get back into bed, because he did that 5:30 wee that she does. Whereas my son Finn, as soon as he was dry in the day, he was dry at night as well and didn't need anything. So think about days and nights can be slightly different, and just making it as easy as possible. If they're really keen or upset that they're having a bedtime nappy on, then you're just going to have to go without and just try and put all of the stuff under their bed, you know, at some point, and let them learn to trust themselves and to get up, but make it easy. Put the potty right there so they can just hop out and go without getting worried about anything, and make the environment as open to it as possible, and then keep your daytime techniques through the night time if that's what you choose to do. So I hope you found that interesting. I hope there are some nuggets in there that might help you with potty training. As I said, it's a bit of an amalgamation of stuff I've read from gentle parenting, stuff I've read from Montessori, stuff I've just experienced myself. So I'm not an expert, I'm just a mum of 3 who really wanted to share some thoughts with you on it, because it's new to me as well, and definitely no disrespect, there's no one right way of doing things. I really believe that, and you know, do what feels right for you and your family. And this was just something that I tried this time and really enjoyed, and I think will benefit me long term more than I realise even now, with those issues that do crop up slightly later. So yes, don't forget to hit subscribe if you would like to stick around for the rest of this series on gentle parenting and positive discipline. I'm going to be dealing with behaviour issues like stubbornness, whining, lack of cooperation, and the sort of actual positive discipline techniques for each of those very soon. I've got that all written out. So I'll do that, and I will see you soon. Lots of love. Bye guys.